What's going on? Welcome to BHO Innovations. I'm your host, Roosevelt. If you don't know who I am a top author, consultant, business owner. I own different businesses, serial business entrepreneur. I wrote several books and curriculum. One called The Business Hustle Owner. The next one is Business Hustle Owner 1. This is Economics and Inflation. And I co-wrote a curriculum with my buddy, Markins Barber. Fly with me and get flown over. Then I helped facilitate. I didn't write the book, but I purchased it and I encouraged one of my friends. She wrote a password book that's sold on Amazon. Yeah, you read the title right. I'm sorry that most of y'all probably don't understand this. But being poor made me a better person. It made me go out and hunt. It made me encouraged to do more with my life. It made me understand that I had to go survive and hunt for my food. It made me understand that if I didn't go out and work, I would not eat. I wasn't privileged like most kids. Most kids had their parents. They had a parent who had a job, boyfriend, girlfriend. They had that situation. Someone was married, someone wasn't. And they was privileged to a degree more than my family. We was habitual poor. We was one of the poorest kids. We was on food stamps. We was living underneath government assistance. We had to take baths in buckets. We had to use the water hose to rinse off. We had to eat government cheese. But before all that and all these things that had happened, we was not poor whatsoever. Let me explain. My father had 2 children, only 2 children at that time. And my mother had only 2 children at that time. We was privileged children because my father was an entrepreneur. He owned a very successful barbershop in Nixon Town where he had customers standing outside the door. That's until segregation happened. When segregation happened, the migration of black people who living in only black neighborhoods, or poor black neighborhoods, so they thought, start changing because the migration led to them to live in those neighborhoods where white people didn't want them to live at. When that happened, it took the money, the little bit of money that we circulate in our neighborhoods to help each other grow and be successful, it started taking the money out of the neighborhoods. Once that happened, it led to the barber shop declining. So my dad started using other ways to try to help facilitate more money to come in the house. He tried to sell, gamble the race dogs. A long time ago, it was race dogs. Then he gambled. He was gambling dogs, numbers, and so much, dealing with astrology and so many different things to try to take care of his ever-growing family. Our family reached the height of 6 children. And that was way too much with the income of a working man at that time that were making 75 cents per hour. My dad's dignity was hurt because he couldn't find a job. The business had migrated and left the neighborhoods, and the people that's in his immediate neighborhood could not help him because they didn't have any money to help. It was harsh, man. It was harsh. It got so bad that we all got separated into foster care. And if you know anything about foster care, you are separated from your family, your father, your mother, your sister, your siblings, and you broke up. All because of segregation and all because the migration of money left the neighborhoods of the black community. What that have to do with me? Well, as the oldest child, it made me stronger. I started learning how to hustle more. I started dumping people trash cans for money or for the bottles. I started selling bottles to CNC grocery store in our neighborhood when bottles was 5 cents, 10 cents, and 25 cents. If I made 10 bottles, and they were 10 cents each, I made $1. And back then, you talking about a 10-year-old who made $1. But I realized mathematics. My mathematics grew. And I started thinking, if I get more neighborhoods and more people who want this kind of work or want their trash taken out, they didn't want to do the work, and we do the trade for the bottles for my wage, I can make more money. They don't have to give me 50 cents because I can trade in the bottles to make money. I just recently, just cut you short, just recently watched John Morgan or Morgan and Morgan, how he said people who own a paper back then sold newspapers made great entrepreneurs. I must agree because I did try to sell newspapers, but I didn't understand the route system, and I didn't understand trying to build a route when someone couldn't even pay you for that route. So I used a different kind of system that paid more higher wage, that grew my money and kept me with consistent cash flow. That grew me even stronger as an entrepreneur. I not only did sell bottles, I started cutting yards, I started babysitting, I started doing things to grow more money so I could help out with my family income, buy food, help my mom with lights, help my mom with television, and so many other things to help with the family income. That made me who I am, so I'm glad I was poor. I became a very successful entrepreneur. I wrote books. I'm writing books. I write curriculums. I sold houses. I was a real estate investor. I was a clothing company designer, a clothing company owner, and so many different things that I jumped out of because I learned the fundamental of life, how to get out there and get it. Then I became one of the youngest entrepreneurs of a Fortune 500 company that I didn't even have a high school diploma. I had a GED. And I worked for those folks for many years and got paid a high wage. I took that money and continued my education into college and got a GED. And then I grew further into my studies to realize that college wasn't what they told me. I wanted to live the rich life. 2 cars, 2 houses, right? Pay my expense to travel. I didn't see that future with the career I was heading to, which I didn't understand what I was heading to. But I knew I didn't want to work a 9 to 5 and be able to take 1 week of vacation without living the life I wanted to live. So my next thing came as an entrepreneur. So I did live the life I wanted to live. We traveled to Paris, London. I got to travel most places all over the world. I traveled over more in 50 states, which states I wanted to allow, which states I wanted to travel to. I'm able to eat any food that I want, drive the car that I choose to buy, and cars are not an asset, so I didn't choose to buy a Maserati, a Mercedes, or I want to buy a BMW, and I do want to own a plane. What I'm telling you, and most people who are not here on my live, is you should be happy in the situation that you are in. But you shouldn't be able to understand that you have to stay there. Many people have to stay where they are in their countries because their countries is where they live and they don't have no other choice. We are blessed to be in the United States of America being poor because we have the opportunity of capitalism. And when you have the opportunity of capitalization, you can increase your wealth with hard work and better responsibility of money and relationships of who you meet and greet each and every day. So, when you get an opportunity, buy these books. The Business Hustle on them. Understand, our books are able to help you grow. Buy BHO Innovations. Buy it today. Learn why you don't have to be poor. Buy each one of those books. Each book costs about $25. Shipping and handling. Economics and inflation. Buy the books and grow your wealth. The curriculums on the website. Get consulting. You can make your life so much better with the education that we have on the internet as Americans. We have a lot of things that you can learn to grow. Now, let me be clear with you. I did not want to be poor. I wanted to be rich. I wanted to have what my friends had. Bikes and Christmas toys and clean clothes and be able to wash your body and keep you clean, to smell good for the little girls at that time. And I wanted to be there, but I wasn't able to be there. But now I'm able to be there, and I am thankful that God blessed me to be poor. That's hurtful to say, right? How you feel thankful for being poor? Well, he gave me an opportunity to grow. And he gave me an opportunity to lean on him. He gave me the opportunity to be successful. Some of my friends have not become successful because their parents gave them everything. Some of my friends are walking up and down the streets, begging, pillar to post. Some of them not even responsible. They don't have their own home. They stand in their parents' old house, which their parents have left them with, and they cannot keep up the taxes of their house or more. I am living such a beautiful life that God has given me. He gave me wisdom. He gave me encouragement. He gave me understanding. He gave me love. He gave me grace. He gave me humbleness. He gave me passion. He gave me faithfulness. He gave me all these things. He let me see some of the world that he has created for my sight. See, God wants you to do the work. He said, do the work of my Father and my Father's business. Business is a God thing. Being a person who works for someone is not. You have to be humble to grow anything. You got to be understanding to do the work, what you want to be successful in. Let's go back to John Morgan and all the people who work as paper boys. You know, John Morgan was very, very poor, of Morgan and Morgan. And he became, what Fortune 500 said, a billionaire. Who else been a paper route guy? Steve Jobs was a paper route guy. Warren Buffett was a paper guy. Sold paper, newspapers. And many others who are very, very successful entrepreneurs, they are go-getters and hustlers. They know how to communicate to their consumers who they want to sell to. They understand math greatly. They understand reading greatly. So if you are in America and you're poor and you're young, you have an opportunity to grow. You have the opportunity for change. You got it. Don't let nobody tell you otherwise. Get in the game. And if you need help, and you should be a subscriber here, go ahead and get it into the work. Do your Father business, our God's business. And subscribe to this channel if you like. It doesn't matter if you do or not. But if you watch this video for the entirely, go to bhoinnovations.com. Buy your book, buy your course. Look over the website, look at the curriculum. Buy consulting. You need to consult with someone like me, a business owner. And all you need is consult to a young entrepreneur, like one of my son. He's an entrepreneur. Or you need a prayer meeting, someone to pray with you. Right? I will help pray with you. Make an appointment. It's free. And then I know pastors who will pray with you. If you're having trouble, they will pray with you. All you have to do, if you want to, give a small donation, help out with the cause. If not, we still pray with you. It doesn't matter. But everything else on the website, you have to buy. You have to buy consultant. You have to buy the books to get your own education of business and more. My name is Roosevelt Davis of BHO Innovation. I hope you enjoyed this video. This live, everyone who's not here. Normally I have about 10 people, but this is a Christmas weekend and people shopping for the last minute Christmas gifts. I'm not giving out many Christmas gifts whatsoever. I'm giving out gifts, but not many. Because here's why. I want people to understand we are going through troubled times. I want people to understand that you have to work for what you want. People getting laid off. Tariffs are higher in different countries. Food is exponentially high. They say you got low gas prices. They change the prices up and down. It says the lowest. The news don't do no research whatsoever. Whatever put in their face, they're gonna report. They don't do investigation, reporting whatsoever to help you and I. They do even worse time in the weather, but they do some kind of systematic changes to learn more about the weather. Then, more important, you of the facts of this world. Here's what I must say to you. Entrepreneurship is a lie if you want it. So if you poor, middle class, or you're just a child who know that you need education and you got a little bit of money, but you know you don't have enough knowledge to multiply the money, you can gain consulting. Consulting don't cost that much per hour. But however, losing your money, what you've been given, or not reaching out for consulting, not to gain any money, is a problem. So learn these lessons. I know some of you are, like I said once again, please subscribe. I hope this encourages you, uplift you, give you confidence in why I am happy that I was poor. Because it gave me the best advantage than anything, being poor, being a hustler, being understanding, being passionate, be a go-getter, be a quick learner, be able to pivot fast, and be able to relay the message to you that God is good forever and ever. But some people don't want to hear about God. They want to think you did it on your own. I did not do it on my own. I would not made myself poor. I would have made myself rich as kings. But guess what? What is the riches of the world when you can't have the riches of heaven and earth? And if you want to if you want to be rich and get a better understanding, you have to learn. You have to get an education to learn. Welcome to BHO Innovations. I'm your host, Roosevelt. And buy your books today. All links down below. Happy holidays.